Hey everybody, GL1 here, and I wanted to share with you my Starscream collection. And there it is. And this is one of the largest collections I have of a character that I really don't care about. But as the Transformers Energon and Armada, Cybertron, and the movies, those storylines, uh, were really popular, and I enjoyed them too. I'd watch them with my son when he was little. I got into them, and so I would buy characters uh, just to go with the story. And the other thing is this is also a sizable collection I have that I think I got everything clearance. I don't think I paid full price for any of these figures. So let me start with, we got the latest one is the Starscream Studio version that comes with a chair, a throne, okay, and it's Starscream with his crown. Now, Starscream is the second in command of the Decepticons. You have Megatron, and then Starscream was one of his lieutenants. And at some point, he connived his way to being elected king by the other Decepticons on Cybertron, and he got himself like a regal cape and crowned himself. And on this figure, the crown comes off, and so does the cape. So you have this cape, and actually has some joints to it, as you can see. So that comes off there, and then it folds. So that's kind of neat. And you can kind of fold it in on itself like that, and then it comes with the throne, and you can attach the throne here, and then you have these extra guns, lasers that he can have, and then he can kind of sit in the throne. He doesn't really. These come off too. These pieces here. So they wiggle. There you go. So then that can come off. And then he can put his feet up. This moves out of the way so he can kind of sit. But I haven't figured out how this is supposed to work with the chair, so that he can, he's not going to really sit very comfortably. You could take this, the nose of the jet, he turns into a jet. In all these forms, Starscream turns into a jet, and he sits like that, although he's not touching the chair. But that's the only way I can figure out to get him into the chair. So that is like a $45 to $60 figure that I got for $22.99 at Ross. So once again, something that's clearance. This is also a studio line figure, one of the higher quality, a lot of detail, and that comes off. These probably are more, instead of Hasbro, Takara designs, more the Japanese versions. With the more highly detailed, and the highly detailed hands. Oh yeah, see, okay, so see how that hand is now. That hand doesn't bend, but on the other studio line one, his hands close. So I could show you that here. So see that? He's got a joint in his hand. So that's a little added detail. Now, the Combiner Wars, that's what this Starscream back here is, right? And that was, I didn't know that they even made that, and that was one of those things where I was just looking for something else, and then I saw this Starscream and then I bought it, and I didn't even realize that it was one of these that you can combine with other robots. So this is the head. It has a crown. It doesn't come off. These can fold. This is like this comes in and out, and this gives them like a boost of energy. These are cars, obviously, and they can come off. And then you can also put vehicles on here like other jets or cars, and he can have, but if you only have 2 extra cars. So these robots, these combiner robots, have 5 to 6 robots. There's an Optimus one and a Menasor and various other characters. And you would get, sometimes you get a small chest vehicle that would connect, and that would turn into a robot. And then you would get a robot vehicle for each limb that, each one of these cars or vehicles turns into a robot. And then, or they can combine all together to make just one big one. And then he has a smaller head that, let's see if we can, oh, there, see? So if you take him apart, you can kind of infer here that there's his head, and then these arms become legs, see? So then they're going to fold down into legs. So, and then these come out. Let's see if we can do that quickly and easily. This unfolds here, and then that snaps out. And then I believe the hand, there we go. We'll turn that around. All right, and then see, so then you could see that's how that works. Oh, see, then he has a smaller head and the arm, and then that, looks like our familiar, all the same basic pattern to Starscream. Okay, so that's a pretty neat, combination. And then another Earthwise Starscream that is a nice quality that looks almost like Studio Line, but it's a little lighter, not quite as detailed. But this is the Netflix Starscream Earthwise series, and it turns into a stealth jet, actually. But I thought I'd show you them all in their Starscream robot mode. Okay. And then you have your little basic Starscream that, basic limbs, has his guns or his lasers. He's got knees, and his hips just go in and out. But this is one of those like $3 to $5 Starscreams that came out somewhere like 10 years ago. And that is a copy of this big gigantic Starscream. Here, this is 2004, and I believe this is Cybertron Starscream. And I've seen a couple different things on this, that there's a Japanese version that had lights and sounds, and I can't remember, it's been so long since I played with it, whether this ever had lights and sounds. I feel like it did, but I couldn't find where the batteries went, so maybe I'm remembering incorrectly. But there's some guy on one of the sites, YouTube sites, that he went in and found the electronics and soldered in. He said the speaker was missing. He soldered in the speaker and he got it working, and he put a battery in it, like a button cell. So this is a giant Starscream that also has the crown that is removable, and the head turns. But what he also does is he has these weapons. He has a sword that flips out, and he has a big laser gun here that also folds up and then flips out. And what you have is these cyber keys, which I forgot to bring one with me, and I don't have any here. But there's a cyber key, and when you put this up, it locks, and you push a cyber key push the cyber key up in here. So you can lock the weapons up there so they're out of the way, and then you push the cyber key and the weapon comes out. So that was the activation. And then you were supposed to be able to put the cyber key inside here, and I think you put the cyber key in here, see the slot, and then that would allow you to push this button down. That is a button, and then it would make the lights and sounds. And also, what I saw in one video, that when you move the arms, it made lights and sounds. And I can't remember if he did, but I kind of feel like this one did. But I couldn't find where the batteries went. So I don't know. I kept looking and looking. So I might be remembering incorrectly. But I remember this is a pretty simple, it's big, but it's actually pretty simple to transform and just turns into a big jet. And this one fell down. But again, this is kind of, very similar looking Starscream, and this is one of those, that you might get at Big Lots or something for $5. And it's got, ball joints and knee joints and elbows, and the guns, the lasers come off. And they snap in there. And then he has shoulder articulation. And then this can fold around, to make him into his jet mode. But, for $5, this is a pretty good transformer. And then you have your movie Starscreams, which I really didn't like the movie look. This is, so I do like the little ones though, because when you have the little robots, you can play with some of the big robots adventures on like a giant, like Metroplex or something, and then all the robots are small. So I did want to get the small one. I didn't get the larger one, or the studio one, or any of the others. And I have the McDonald's one. And that had a button cell, and you push that down, I think, and his chest would light up. I think that's what that did. So not bad, actually, for a McDonald's toy. And then I'm going to show you here, because I have a surprise one to show you last. But then this is Transformers Prime, and he's real sleek looking. So I thought that was cool. Got these like slim, sleek legs. And then here he is in jet mode, a larger version in jet mode. This is one of those where I want to open it. I got it for $6, and I looked to see how much it's worth, and it's worth $100 in the box. So I'm like, I'm really not going to play with it that much. And and I can play with the little one anyway. And actually, I have all the other ones too. I have this in a box, and that's another one of those $100 ones, RC, that I'm not going to open anytime soon. Not that I'm going to sell it, but, I look at, am I really going to play with it? And maybe, it is worth that. So at least for now, I'm leaving it in. Now, the Beast Wars movie is coming up, and there was once a time, this is Waspinator, but Waspinator was once infected with the spirit, or the spark, of Starscream, and this is the Starscream head. So this has a triple changer. It opens up like that, and then opens up in the back, and then you can flip the head around. That rotates, and then you have your Waspinator head. So see that? And I think this is the only Waspinator transformer that ever did this, that ever had the head that also did Starscream. So I thought that was really cool, because I like that episode where Starscream takes over, because the Megatron on that show is really a mean guy, and I like to see him sometimes get put in his place. And when Starscream, who always was trying to get Megatron's job, Megatron was brutally mean to Waspinator, and Waspinator always just wanted to please him. And so when Starscream took over Waspinator's body, he was really powerful, and powerful enough to rival Megatron, oftentimes. And that was kind of fun to watch. And the missiles, I remember, going, oh my gosh, where are the missiles? Where are the missiles? I can't find them. And they're in the wing. And that's where they are. So anyway, that's a surprise there. And I hope you enjoyed, a collection of Starscreams that I never really wanted that bad. But, again, clearance price. Pretty cool to get them. So thanks for watching. GL1 out.